I'm gonna teach you how to properly grip the bar so that you can actually do your pull-ups in a safer manner and also in a more powerful way. In this video, I'm gonna go through all the grip mechanics that you need to understand it and then also then apply it to your pull-ups. And my goal for this video is that at the end, you will have a proper understanding to then apply straight away into your training session. Let's get started. First off, let's understand why grip strength is actually important. And for me, it is important because one, it is your first contact with the bar. And how you make contact with the bar is actually going to translate to the rest of your body. It is going to tell your nervous system whether to prepare for the work at hand or that, it can kind of like chill. So when you actually grip the bar and you grip it tightly and properly, you're actually activating more of your nervous system. And then now when more of your nervous system is activated, you can be a whole lot more stronger. And while you're gripping the bar, you are also stabilizing the shoulder. And when it comes to calisthenics movements, pull-ups, push-ups, whatever upper body skill you want to do, the shoulder, when it comes to strength, the shoulder needs to be stabilized. A lot of people forget this, but it's really important for you to stabilize your shoulder in a dynamic way because then you can be a whole lot more stronger. Now, let's actually come to the mechanics of actively gripping the bar. So, first thing you want to do is actually to lay your fingers on the bar. And the thing is, when you're holding the bar, you want the bar to be like along here. So it's actually half on your fingers and then half just on the top of your palm, right? So I'm laying on it in that position, right? So gripping onto the bar and then holding and gripping like this. The thing is, what people tend to do is that they actually grip, the bar is mainly here, and they grip it in this position like this. So now what's gonna happen is that your skin is going to like curl and it's going to tighten and it's going to create friction when you're now doing that dynamic movement or actually just holding the bar. So now this is what happens, this is what can cause calluses. But the thing is with the calluses, it's actually the irritation of the skin that is the most annoying, right? So when you get the calluses like this is fine. Like you peel them off and then they grow back, they come back stronger. But the actual thing that stops you from gripping the bar more tightly and also being comfortable gripping the bar is actually the irritation of the skin, right? So that's why, for example, you actually want to hold on the fingers as opposed to holding on the palm. So that's the first thing. But there's so many mechanics to this. So the next one is going to be when you are holding the bar, you are actually doing this ulnar deviation. So that's when I bring my pinky like closer to my wrist, my forearm, like this, right? So I do it in a closed fist position and I do this ulnar deviation. When I do this ulnar deviation, that means now my thumb is pressing up against the bar and then my pinky is pressing down against the bar. And now this is like a security system, a lock system, right? So now making me active. So instead of just holding like this and then gravity is bringing me down, I'm gripping tightly and then now I do this locking and then now I'm more secure in the position. You're gonna feel it translating all the way from your forearms to your shoulders. So that's one part. And then when it comes to your grip, it is not just what you do with your hands. I actually didn't mention, but when you're actually gripping the bar, you need to grip it so tightly. You grip it so tightly, so once again, to turn on the nervous system and for you to stabilize the body and to make the movements easier, to make pull-ups easier, right? So you need to grip on tightly. Think like you're on a skyscraper and you're hanging on to the edge for like dear life. That's how hard you want to grip to make more strength gains, right? So yes, the grip, the fingers, the palm, the wrist, the forearms are important when it comes to your grip strength. But one thing that's I don't really hear a lot of people mentioning is going to be the shoulders. When you're holding onto the bar, you actually want to already like slightly pull and already slightly rotate. So I'm holding onto the bar, I slightly pull and then I rotate. You see that? So I'm pulling and then I rotate from the shoulder, pulling and rotate. So now, once again, I am being active in the position and I'm not letting gravity push me down all the time. I'm fighting back against gravity and that's gonna give me more control. in the movement when I start to do my dynamic movement of pulling myself up and then pulling myself down. So that's how you grip the bar. So you want to grip the bar as if you're going to break it, right? The ulnar deviation, I break it, I squeeze as hard as I can, and then now I involve my lats, my lower traps, and then my rotary cuffs in this pulling down and then this rotation. Common mistakes that I've seen over the years with my students and then also just observing other people is that when they are gripping the bar, they are actually gripping the bar in a passive position. The way I view it is like the thinking process is that you're holding the bar, but you're not necessarily doing the muscle activations for you to secure yourself on the bar. So like I said before, your grip is you're making contact with the bar, right? So now you don't just hold in a passive position. A good rule to kind of always have in mind is that when you're doing your strength movements, you want to avoid any passive movements, any passive phases, right? I want to be fully active when I'm doing it. And this is for the upper body, core, and lower body. When I am aware and active, that's when once again my nervous system is turned on all the way up, or at least close to all the way up. And then I can be a whole lot more stronger. So when you're gripping onto the bar, do not grip it passively and do not let gravity like bring you down, right? You need to fight against gravity, and that you do that by activating your grip, your shoulders, and the rest of the body. Now that you have an understanding of like the grip mechanics, now it's time for you to actually go out there and to practice it. And actually a good way to progress fast in your grip strength and your grip mechanics is actually to practice it daily. So actually just hanging on the bar daily is one of the best things you can do for calisthenics training, for weight training, or just for life, because the shoulders come under a lot of compression. And when you hang, it actually relieves tension in the neck, shoulders, and back. And at the same time, you are now improving your grip strength and your durability. So actually hanging every single day, frequently throughout the day it's low intensity, so you can do it. And you can always do progressions as like your feet are supported, reducing your weight, or just hanging fully. And this is really going to help to improve your grip strength. And then now when you go into your primary training, doing your pull-ups, you are still using these grip mechanics, but now the daily work you're doing is now going to translate nicely into your pull-ups and any pulling mechanics. And I'll leave you with this for today's tip. So this is like a bonus tip. When it comes to pull-ups and muscle-ups, front levers, the main thing that normally prevents people from progressing is actually your grip strength. So for example, let's say if you're pulling up and you're feeling your forearms, that means now your grip is kind of giving out a little bit and you're no longer fully activating the back. So therefore I cannot put out as much reps. I cannot do as harder skills. It makes everything harder because the grip strength. So really you want that grip strength to be strong and durable. So practice it daily and then it'll translate nicely into your strength movements. All right, I'll see you on the next video.